In the year 2015, two huge telephone and cable network operators, or technos, control broadband internet access throughout the United States. Each techno has its own content affiliates who provide online entertainment, sports, games, and information to the consuming public. Their operational motto is, "We create, you enjoy." How did this happen? It began in 1969 when the first bits sped across a new computer network funded by the U.S. Department of Defense. Soon the elements of what will become the Internet are in place, an open architecture where users innovate at the edge, and end-to-end communications with no gatekeeper inside the network core, all of it riding on top of the nation's phone network, providing little compensation to the telcos who had built that infrastructure. In fact, the Internet stands in sharp contrast to telephone and cable visions, which placed intelligence, control, and innovation inside the network. By 2005, the technos provide more than 96% of residential broadband connections, but most of the real profits are made by others, the Googles and Disneys, who use their networks. Verizon and AT&T fight back with internet television, offering hundreds of channels and thousands of hours of on-demand programs. Like the cable companies, they want to choose the content they deliver over their broadband pipes and not simply act as common carriers. AT&T's CEO declares that internet content providers will have to pay extra for fast broadband delivery. 2006, in reaction, content providers join with consumer groups in a last-ditch effort to preserve network neutrality, but they get a chilly reception in Washington. Instead, Congress gives telcos authority to freely offer internet programming and decide what traffic gets priority within their network. In 2007, based on the early success of Wi-Fi in Philadelphia and San Francisco, Google launches broadband wireless nationwide in partnership with local municipalities. Verizon and AT&T, followed by the cable operators, offer contracts to Sony, Fox, Disney, and others for fast-lane internet delivery of their online games, movies, video, and other content. Those who choose not to pay must accept standard delivery. This slow lane is where user experimentation is allowed, the only option for user-run servers, peer-to-peer, and other applications unaffiliated with the carriers. To enforce the separation, technos now scan all data packets. Customer contracts authorize carriers to screen for viruses, spam, copyright violations, and content of interest to government agencies. These contracts strictly limit the bits users can upload without additional charges. 2008. Most large content providers are enthusiastic about fast lane delivery. They can now charge higher fees for premium media experiences. But some, like Google and Microsoft, mount court challenges to packet scanning and prioritization as violations of users' privacy rights and of network operators' obligation to provide common carrier services. Flush with cash from content providers, technos accelerate investment in fiber infrastructure and in-network innovations to achieve high performance. Dozens of new services such as online multiplayer sports and games become wildly popular. With full control over individual data streams, the carriers can craft compelling multimedia experiences for their customers. Meanwhile, Google's broadband wireless build-out has achieved initial success with 4 million subscribers in 28 cities. However, security and reliability concerns arise after hacker attacks disable some 15,000 Wi-Fi users' computers in Chicago. The technos effectively use this security failure in their broadband marketing campaigns. In 2012, the Supreme Court rules in favor of the techno's right to scan data packets and prioritize internet traffic. The decision cites the need to ensure network reliability and protect customers from hacker-induced harm. The merger of Comcast and Time Warner in 2014 creates a behemoth controlling 90% of the U.S. cable market and 60% of all broadband connections. After reporting billion-dollar losses, Googlezon abandons its municipal wireless partnerships. Some cities vow to keep their networks on the air, but it appears an uphill struggle against the dominance of Techno's broadband. 2015, determining that only increased scale can compete effectively with Comcast Time Warner, the Justice Department approves the merger of AT&T and Verizon. The broadband duopoly has no serious rivals. It has brought affordable broadband to 85% of U.S. households who love the network innovations that protect against spam and viruses, the esports leagues, and the high-definition entertainment they receive from Techno's content affiliates. Still, some academics, artists, and other dissidents bemoan the loss of amateur content production that flowed over the internet in the early 21st century. Techno restrictions have virtually eliminated peer-to-peer distribution among broadband users. Internet content and applications now conform closely to established consumer tastes. It is nearly impossible for an innovator unaffiliated with the Technos to gain a sizable internet audience in the US. But perhaps another eBay, Napster, Yahoo, Amazon, or Google will emerge out of the competitive chaos in India or Brazil.